What are we going to get into today? Well, today is distilling day for our bourbon 2.1. All right, I'm really looking forward to this. But first things first, welcome to Stillworks and Brewing. My name is Randy, and this is a channel that's all about home distillation and brewing. All right, so we're going to get ready to get started. And very first thing I want to do is I want to verify that the mash is done. I do know it's done. I've tasted it. I do know it's done, but we do not know for a fact until we stick the hydrometer in. Now, here's where it is. Remember when I always said you ought to own two of them? Well, I went to go get my hydrometer, and I got the end broke off. How in the hell did I do that? That's why I say you always got to have two. So I will have to order me another one, yeah. And I like that one. All right, so, but I do have another hydrometer, and what we'll do is we're gonna stick that in the fermented mash and just make sure it's done, and then we'll get ready to siphon it over into our still pot. All right, so let's go make sure that is done. What am I looking for? Somewhere around, 1.001. Remember, we started at 1.090, which was fantastic. I was excited about that. So if it's down to near 1.000, we know that the yeast ate all the available sugars up and we're good to go and we got alcohol, okay? So I'm gonna go do that and then I'll be back. So it did, I threw the hydrometer in the mash and it did come down 1.000. That, like I said before, that means there's no more sugars in there, so the yeast must have done this job. And if you take your finger and taste it, it tastes real like sour. And that is what you want. That's 100%. If it tastes sweet, there's something wrong. All right, so let me put this away before I break it. And I will siphon over into the still pot that mash. And then we'll move on to the next step after that, okay? Okay, so I got all my fermented wash into my still pot. Now I just wanted to bring up one thing before we get started. And that's the rules of bourbon. I've had some people question this, and they're not wrong, but in my opinion. Okay, the rules of bourbon, technically, it needs to be made in the United States. If you want to go to New Zealand and make bourbon, heck, go for it. Anyway, technically, bourbon has to be made in the United States, just like Scotch has to be made in Scotland, same thing. All right. The mash bill has to be a minimum of 51% corn and then the other grains. It can't come off the still no higher than 160 proof. It is aged, and here's the real question I've been getting. It's aged in a charred white oak barrel. Okay, and that is technically true. All right, let me finish up. It can't go into the barrel no more than 125 proof, and it can't be bottled any less than 80 proof. Okay, let's go back to the white oak. All right, in my opinion, white oak. Okay, yes, technically that is right. You have to have a charred white oak barrel, a new charred white oak barrel for it to be called bourbon. I a lot of times use white oak chips. Okay. Because I don't produce enough bourbon to fill up a big barrel. Now, I have used many barrels. Does that count? I don't know. But the thing I've said in the past, and it holds true to me, is I'm a home distiller, so I can do what the hell I please. Anyway, but that is the rules of bourbon, and I'm gonna call this bourbon, even though it will be aged on oak chips. They're new oak chips, new charred oak chips, so, all right. So, I've degassed this. The wash is in my still. I've degassed it. I got a little bit of electric going into it, not too awful much, just to help start warming it up. And then I'll put a bit of flame underneath the still pot to help to warm up a little bit faster. And so I'm gonna start getting this thing stacked out, and then we're gonna get ready while it's warming up, and we'll get ready to run this thing. So all right, let me go get this stacked out, and we'll be back. Sorry about all the noise. I mean, I'm coming up in the pot temperature. I'm climbing up just a little bit over 170 something. I can see a little bit of condensation in the sight glass, but I'm not really feeling any heat coming up yet. She should be coming up soon. I'm getting a 1 or 2 little drips every once in a while, but it's going to be coming up soon. Like I said, this is not a time to walk away. She's going to start climbing real fast. My head temperature, hell, it's only 80 degrees. So soon I'll be cutting the flame off underneath and then strictly go electric. That's the way I like to do it. You know, I'll put propane underneath and electric because I'm only got 110 out here. But I can feel it's nowhere up here yet. It might be getting ready to come up just a little bit. All right, so we'll be back when something starts. Okay, as you can see, I am that close to a puke, okay? I got doing some other things and I didn't do what I tell everybody to do is keep an eye, okay? So I killed the heat underneath real fast and I killed the electric to the heating element in my still real fast. It did not come around and puke, but I can see it's starting to go back down. So once this clears out, goes back down, then I'll turn the electric back on and bring it up slowly. And we'll keep this going. But so I was that close to a puke. But you can see right now, see it's going down? And it's hot. It happens fast. It happens fast. But I just caught it because my head temperature did not climb up yet. It's climbing up slowly, but not yet. All right, so I'm gonna let it settle down. And then we're gonna turn the heating element back on. And then she'll start running here soon. All right? All right, I did turn the heating element back on, but I only got it running at about 7 amps. Temperature up top is climbed right on up to where it's going to. It's inching back all the way up. Oh, about 170 so far. Everything's hot. Whoop. Okay, she's running a little bit too fast coming off, so I turned the heat down a little bit. I do need to turn my cooling water up a little bit. It won't take long to get under control. If you see any steam coming out your output, that means your cooling water is too low and you're too hot in your pot. So she's calming down. She'll start drip, just a steady little pencil lead stream now. So it's about where I want it. All right. Now what's going to happen? Remember, I always use a diffuser plate, a 1/4-inch piece of steel between my flame and the bottom of my still pot. Why do I use it? It's because I think it helps prevent scorching. It spreads the heat out. Problem with it, when I turn the heat off underneath, it stays hot for a few. Not too awful long, but it stays hot for a few, and you just kind of get used to it. So everything right now is settling down very well. My condenser's nice and cool. Everything's doing well. All right, so what am I gonna do now? Well, what I wanna do now is I'm gonna collect off about 6 ounces to start, and then I'll smell and I'll taste. And you should, right now it's very pungent smelling, like what everybody says, fingernail polish. It's that acetones and stuff. So once I collect about 6 ounces, that smell and that taste will go away, and then we'll be good to start collecting, right? And then I'll collect off 1 or 2 jars in the small ones first, and then I'll move over to a quart jar. All right, so it is going. So let me get this collected, and we'll show you what we do next. All right, I went ahead and collected 12 ounces off. It's smelling good now, and tastes fantastic. All right, so now I think I'm gonna turn the heat just up just a little bit. All right, so what we'll do is we'll collect off a couple pint jars, and then we'll move to some quart jars for a while. Okay, so what we got? Well, so far we got 1, 2, 3, 4 quarts of good distillate. And what I do is I like to take my refractometer and I like to check it right out of the spout. So coming off right now is about 44%. When it gets down to 40, I usually, that'd be end of my collections. Now I might collect some more, just put it in a faint jar. Everything here is looking crystal clear. Smells good, but what I will do is I will put some paper towels over it with rings on it, just so there ain't none of them little stupid little bugs get in it. And I will let it air out 24 hours. Okay? I just think it gives it a better taste if I do that. It's smelling good already. It smells delicious. This is going to be one fantastic bourbon. All right, so we got a little while to go yet. Not too much. We're coming close to the end. And you'll be surprised how fast this will change down here near the end. It will drop like a rock. And it's almost dropping like a rock. If I get a half a jar on this, I'd be surprised. And I might just save this and collect it out, and that'd be my face jar. Yep, I think it's, well, let's go for a little while longer and we'll see what we're going to do. But this would be a fantastic bourbon. All right, so let me give this a little bit of time and then we'll be right back. Okay. Open my still all up, let it cool down so we can clean it up. It's a little too hot yet. So I took all the column off of it so it cools down a little bit faster. So what did we end up with? Well, we ended up with 1, 2, 3, 4 and a peach quarts. It all smells fantastic. I stopped at 40 ABV, which is 80 proof. All right, I'm willing to bet, unless there's something weird tomorrow, I'll probably be using all this. So what are we going to do tomorrow? All right, so tomorrow we will blend all this together, proof it down, and get it on oak. So I'm gonna, that'd be next video after this. We'll show all that. So I guess the last thing I got to say is, hey, thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you next time here on Stillworks for Brewing. Cheers, everybody.